Hello, this is Kim with Crochet with Kim. I'm here with another project. As you can see, I have fun colors today. And these fun colors are like my primary and secondary colors where I'm putting it together where we know that yellow and blue makes green, and we know that red and yellow make orange. So my yellow is my center color, or the stem between the two primary colors. I also, or the secondary colors actually. And I'm also wanting to put together something as far as awareness for autism as well. I do have a loved one that was diagnosed with autism, and it's a very difficult process, not only for the parents but also for the child, because they can get frustrated and very annoyed, but they can still have a fun and fulfilled life. And these colors, I'm hoping that will make them happy and cheerful and everything, because they seem to really love these bright colors. So I thought to do this in honor of them. What we're doing here is I am still going to make a coaster, but instead of making a granny square or a triangle or even a corner to corner, even though this will be beautiful in a corner to corner, I am going to do this in a regular round coaster. And I'm hoping that you are going to enjoy this. I'm going to start with and these are basic colors. These are yarn bee colors. They're yarn bee yarn makers or mini makers, and they come in the colors as stated: orange, red, yellow, royal blue, and green. And for these smaller projects, these are actually perfect yarns to use. I'm going to use my magic circle, and I am going to crochet myself 12 double crochets in the center of this. So we have, this will be number 3, number 4, number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we'll go ahead and close this circle, pulling that string really tight. Now we will usually go and put, when we continue on with one color, we will go ahead and put our hook in the very top of the double crochet. But in this case, instead of pulling in through with the green, I'm going to go ahead and start with the blue and just pull it right through. Make sure that that green is kind of pulled a little tight. Now what we're going to do, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to go right back into that and do another double crochet, making sure that we have everything intact here. What we're going to do, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to put a double crochet in the next stitch, and then another double crochet in the same stitch, and we're going to chain 2, and we're going to put a double crochet, 2 double crochets in that next stitch, which is on top of that double crochet in the previous row, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to put another 2 double crochets, and then we'll chain 2, and we'll put another 2 double crochets, and this is the pattern all the way around. Chain 2, and then 2, 1 and 2, and chain 2, 1 and 2, and then chain 2, and then we'll just go ahead and continue. Chain 2, and we'll go ahead and cut my green, because I'm no longer needing that green. Then we're going to put 2, chain 2, put 2, chain 2, and then we're going to put the last 2 in this. Well, actually just 1. We're going to put that 1 in, and 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 and 2. And then we'll chain 2, and we're going to go in the top of this chain right here, but we're going to drop the blue. We're going to drop the blue, and we're going to pick up the yellow, and we're going to pull through with the yellow and chain 2. Now I'm going to switch it up just a little bit here. Instead of chaining 3, I'm chaining 2, but I'm still going to put me 2 double crochets, because as it gets bigger, you want to have a filler, so to speak. You don't want to have a gap, so that's why I'm changing it up just a little bit. Now we're going to chain 2, and here we're going to put 2 double crochets, chain 2, a little bit more yarn, and then we're going to go directly into here. You know what? Okay, let's do this again. I'm not going to chain 2. I'm just chaining 2 in between these 2, in between the stitches that are in between the ones in the same stitch. So I'm confusing myself now. Okay, now when we move to this stitch, we're just going to crochet into it. I'm sorry if I confused you. I'm working ahead of myself a little bit. I'm thinking faster than my hands. And then we're going to work right into this same stitch. So we'll wrap around, but we will not chain in between these two. We're only going to chain 2 within the same stitch. So we do not crochet 2 when we move over here. But we chain 2 when we're working in the same stitch, which is the chain 2 from the previous row. Then we'll do 2 and then chain 2 and then 2 right back into that same stitch. And then 2 let's pull out a little bit more yarn because there's a little bit more yarn being used each round. And then chain 2 and then 2 more in that same chain 2 stitch. Two, chain 2 and 2. And then we just continue on with that same pattern. Chain 2 and then 2 more. And then going right on into the next one. Chain 2 and into the next stitch. And we'll just keep going. Chain 2 and then one more time. And 2. Chain 2 and then there. Now in this next stitch, which is kind of hard to see, but this opening right here where we actually joined the yellow and the blue, we are going to put 2 stitches, 2 crochet stitches in there. And we're going to chain 2 chain 2. But right here, as we see, we have that chain 2 and then these 2. We're just going to go right here, right there. We'll drop that yellow and cut out the blue, and we're going to pick up the red. And as you can see, it's turning out to be like a little flower. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull this red through. And we'll chain 2 like we did previously, the row previous to this. And then we're going right back into there, that same chain, and we're going to put 2 double crochets. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to have 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, one double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then a 3rd double crochet and double crochet. And we're going to just go right into the top of the peak. So 1, 2, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, 2 double crochets, and in that same peak, 1 and 2. And then we'll go right into that the 3rd peak. So 1, 2, 2 chains, or chain 2, and then my 2nd set of double crochet, chain 2, and my 3rd double set of double crochet. And so as you can see, that it's going to start panning out. It looks like it's going to fold up on me, but it will be very pretty once it's finished. Okay, so here we are so far. And we're going to continue on. 1 and 2. 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. 2 chains. I'm sorry. And then 2 more double crochet. 1 and 2. And we will continue to go, and it looks like it's gonna fold up on you, roll up, and even if it does, you can always block it and put it on a piece of cardboard or something. Can spray it down with some warm water, which I do. I just spray it with warm water because it's hot enough, it'll dry fast and it'll set probably in about a couple of hours or so. I want it to be a full figure. I don't want it to creep up on you or anything like that. So we'll just continue on. Do double crochet, 2 of those, chain 2, double crochet, set of 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then another set of double crochet. And we'll come on over to the next peak, double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in that same peak. And we'll mosey right on over to our next, and it will lay flat. I promise you it will. Alright, we'll keep going. Crochet twice, chain 2, double crochet twice, chain 2, and one more double crochet twice in this same peak. Then we'll go right on over to our next peak. Uh-oh, got a little carried away there. 2, it's 2 and 2 more, and then 2. And go to our next one. Chain 2. Next one. And then, oops, right on over here. Chain 2. Now, right in here, this would be considered like another peak. Let's slip that in there. Making sure. Chain 2. Then 2 more. Chain 2. And then right here is where we're going to start our orange. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to snip my yellow. So as you can see that we have finished up with the red. We're about ready to start our orange. And orange is our last row. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull through. And we're going to chain 3. We're going to go and we're just going to slip stitch right into there. And then we're going to go into here. No, I'm sorry. Let me do that. I did that wrong. We're going to slip stitch here. So sorry. Slip stitch here. And then we're going to do 5 double crochets in between the peaks. 4 and 5. So because we have like 2 peaks here, we're going to have a slip stitch here, and then we're going to do 5 double crochets to make our fan look. So 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to slip stitch here. And we're going to do 5. Slip stitch here, and we're going to put 5 and 5 here. First letter 5. And I'm just going to put at the top of that stitch, and then we'll do 5 more. You can do 6, you can do 7, you know, however, whatever you feel is going to be filling for your coaster. I just like to do 5. And like I said, as it fills out, and you can set it to make it set the way that you would like, smooth. And then because this is acrylic, it doesn't do like cotton would do. Not saying that acrylic is not a nice material to work with, but sometimes it can be a little stretchy, you know, over time, where cotton usually kind of pops back into play. Sometimes acrylic is not so fortunate. My son had a blanket that I had made for him years ago, and the fibers were so stretched. I said, boy, I'm gonna have to just make you something new. And I made it out of cotton the next time, and it seemed to last a lot longer, a lot better. So nothing wrong with acrylic. I love using acrylic if it's something that you're not going to use like all the time, because that material can stretch, and it's hard sometimes for it to get its shape back. In this case right now it's kind of tight, not because I'm crocheting tight, but because it's being done in a project, and it has to conform to whatever that project is, and until the materials relax a little bit, it's going to seem really, really tight, but over time it does relax, and when it relaxes, it relaxes. So we're going to continue to go on, and we'll slip stitch. Okay, I missed a 3 right there. That's what happened there. And that does happen sometimes, where you might miss one where the stitches, you didn't put enough stitches in, so you just learn to kind of maneuver right along and just keep going. But I don't like that, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to slip stitch it, and that's what I forgot to do. Slip stitch, and I'm going to put it right here because I did forget that trio in that particular stitch. I can go back later and fix it, but just for time purpose, I'm just going to continue to go on. And we're almost to the end of this project. And I know that most of the time they want me to edit, my mistakes, but I'm human, and mistakes happen. And if we don't include the mistakes, I don't want anybody to ever think that my projects turn out perfect. They don't, not all the time. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the last 5 stitches, 1, 2, and really this one will be 4, because remember we started pull that red yarn a little bit. We started with this chain right here, and so we'll just go ahead and slip stitch that right together to make that complete that round of shells. So this is what it looks like. Let's set all this off to the side. I'm going to pull this through, kind of tighten it a little bit. And so there we are. my primary and secondary color coaster. That's what I call it, or I could call it the peacock coaster. It have pretty much all the colors of a peacock. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this particular tutorial, with our primary and our secondary colors, which is, the yellow and blue makes green, and then the yellow and red make orange. And this is actually something that I've never tried before. I've tried this pattern, but not necessarily with these colors. It's usually 1 or 2 colors, but I've never tried it with 5 colors. But in any event, this is how it looks. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. I hope that you have fun putting this together. It's actually a cute little coaster, and I hope my little loved one that they like it, and that they find pleasure in it, where they can put their little cups, or their maybe their little pudding pop, not pudding pops, but pudding cups, or whatever desserts, or even a little cereal bowl on top of it. Just always know that their cousin is thinking about them. But in the meantime, I am going to say thank you so much for joining me for this particular tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I am going to work a little bit harder on this one. It still have its rough spots, but for the most part, I hope that you have the concept of how this particular coaster is put together. I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.